Hi, Mark T the Handyman here. Today we're going to look at changing the screen on this screen door. Today we're going to replace this screen on this sliding door wall. It's got a little bit of damage over here where it's ripping, and a little bit of pet and grandchildren abuse. This is a fiberglass screen, and they make aluminum also, and then they got a pet resistant screen. This one happens to be 32 by 75, and this is a 48 by 84 size. They didn't sell the size I really needed. It would have been a little bit smaller, but this is just a little bit more expensive because of its size, but it'll work fine. There is a spline in here that we probably will be able to reuse. If you do need to get a new spline, you need to make sure that you take the old one with you because they are different. But we're going to try to reuse this. This sliding door, just like any sliding door, is going to have a door handle. So you're going to need to take that off, and it'll make it a lot easier to replace the screen and the spline. And that's that. So our spline right here, I took a little screwdriver and I did pry it out of there, and it pretty much just pulls right out of there. And once you get all the spline out, then the screen will come out. So we've got our spline removed, and now we're just going to take our screen out. Okay, our old screen that's ripped. Comes out fairly easy. You want to work on a flat surface. I didn't have a rectangular table, but so I put these two round ones together. It's pretty sturdy, but you need something that is going to be secure. You don't want this bouncing around. I could have done it on the floor, but I like working with a little bit higher workstation. Now you're going to take the new screen and you're going to spread it all the way across, okay? So what I like to do is I like to do two sides first and then the other sides. We go right to left and then top to bottom. I find that it just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so we've got the new screen spread across the door, and we've got it pretty much squared up. We don't want it crooked if we can possibly not do that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this spline and we're going to put it in the groove there. Now, this tool right here is called a rolling tool, okay? It's got a little bit of a gap. I don't know if you can see that, where the spline will fit right in there as it's rolling, and then this one does not, and it kind of finishes it off. So this is a fairly inexpensive tool, but it's a must to do this job. Okay, so we're going to start the spline over on this side. We'll call this the right side. And you want to keep this, like I said, even, and you want to keep it where it's not kinked or anything like that. Just keep it nice and smooth. Take your time, there's no rush. This right here is a little bit thicker because it's animal resistant. So it's a little bit tougher to put in there. But we're going to get this all the way across, and then we're going to go to the other side. So now we're going to start to do the same thing on this side. We're going to pull that ever so tight to start it off, and we're going to push it in like we did on the other side. Let's see. And then we're just going to do the same thing, trying to keep it as even as possible. And we'll go all the way across, keeping it tight. And like I said, we're going to go completely on the other side and reinforcing it as you go. And then we'll go do the top and bottom. I've got it in there, and I'm just kind of reinforcing it nice and gentle. You don't want to try not to slip because you could rip the screen, but you want to push that deep. Okay, so now I'm using the other side of the tool, and I'm just kind of rolling it in there nice and easy, not going too fast, and really don't need to go fast. Just make sure you're getting it in there, and make sure it's getting in there deep. Okay, so we've reached the corner, and I know some people recommend cutting and have 4 different pieces. I've had better luck actually having 2 different pieces here. This is the smaller spline, so it actually bends fairly easy. And so what I try to do is just push that in that corner and then start right from there using the same spline without cutting it. So that's what we're going to do. Is we're going to go, and we've got the tool here again, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to guide it in nice and easy, and then after we finish this side, we'll have the other side to do. And it's the same procedure. Nice and easy. Try not to slip into the screen itself, because that, like I say, that's a pretty good way to cut it. And like I say, we'll push this down in there deep, and we'll be able to make that turn, I think. And we'll go right down the line with that. And you're trying to keep this nice and even. It's pretty much tied in now. It's not going to move too much. So we're going to put this all the way across, and then we'll start the other side. So I've got the spline all the way across. So what I'm going to do now is going to take the rounded edge of the tool, and I'm going to make sure that I've got this nice and deep, okay? And we're just basically going over what we already just pushed in there, okay? And now we're just putting it a little bit deeper so it's not going to come out. A little bit more work because of the animal resistant thickness, but not too bad actually. So we're going to go all the way to the end, and then we're going to cut the spline right in this corner, and it will be meeting where we started right from the beginning. So we're at the beginning, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut this right there. And let me see. Got that. And then this is where we started originally, okay? And then we're going to go do the other side there. But now we just got to push that in, and we're on our way. So we got 3 sides. Now we've got this last side. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pull this tight a little bit so it doesn't have any loose spots in it, and we're going to put this last piece of spline in there. And we're going to do it the same way. We're just going to take our tool and run it through there, and we'll when we finish, we'll be done. Oh, well, I shouldn't say that. We're going to have to cut it. We'll have to trim it after that. Okay, so we got our spline in there, and we're actually going to make the turn on this one too, versus cutting it. And don't forget, this was the first one we did, and this is the last right here. Again, we're just trying to get that down in there, keeping this somewhat snug. And we're going to do this all the way down there, and then we're going to cut off the excess. Okay, we've got that side done, and so now we're going to cut the spline right there, and we're going to push that in. And I'm going to use a screwdriver to get this last piece in there, just a little thing. And now, since we've got this whole big piece that we just did in there, we're going to take our tool and we're going to push that in all the way down there. Make sure it's good and tight, and nothing's going to move or pop out. Okay, so we got our screen in. We don't have that much excess, just a little bit. And so now we're going to cut that excess off. I've already started a little bit. And we're just going to bring our blade as safe as we can without cutting the screen we just put in. So we're cutting right above the spline, and while we're doing that, we'll be pulling this away from there, and we're going to cut all the way around. Okay, so we have one more detail that we have to tend to, and that is putting our door handle back in place. And there we go. So not bad. If you like this video, give me a like or a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.